You've seen it a million times, right? A bird just sitting on a high voltage power line, totally calm, not a care in the world. It's like they know some kind of secret about electricity that we don't. Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that very secret.
So let's just ask it straight up. How in the world can a bird sit on something that would be so incredibly dangerous for any of us? It's a great question. And the answer, it turns out, is all about a fundamental rule of physics that these birds seem to understand without ever going to school.
And nope, it's not a superpower, it's not some kind of magic trick. The reason is actually based on the simple, kind of beautiful principles of how electricity actually works. Once you get the rules, the whole mystery just vanishes. Okay, so to solve this, we first need to wrap our heads around electricity's number one most important rule. And it all comes down to one simple idea: the path.
This brings us to the key concept here, the electrical circuit. You've heard the term, right? Well, for electricity to do anything at all, it needs a complete, unbroken loop to travel through. It needs a path from a high energy point to a low energy point. If you don't have that complete path, that closed loop, the electricity just stays put.
So you can think of it like this. Electricity is always looking for the path of least resistance to complete its journey. It needs a motivation, that's the voltage difference, and it needs a clear road to travel on. If you don't give it that road, no current is going to flow. It's as simple as that. So now, let's take this golden rule and apply it directly to our little feathered friend on the wire. This is how we crack the high wire code. And this really lays it all out perfectly. The bird is sitting on a single wire. Its body isn't giving the electricity a path to go anywhere else, and definitely not to the ground. But a person standing on the ground and touching that same wire, you've just created a perfect and perfectly deadly circuit. The electricity sees your body as a direct highway straight to the earth. We can actually break down the bird's safety into three key things. First, both of its feet are on the same wire, so they're at the same high electrical level. There's no downhill for the electricity to flow. Second, and this is the big one, the bird isn't completing a circuit. And third, the distance between its little feet is so small that the voltage difference is practically zero. There's just not enough push to get any current flowing through its body. I love this quote because it paints such a perfect mental image. The bird isn't really connected to anything that would finish the circuit. It's like it's hovering inside an invisible electrical bubble, totally isolated from anything that would cause that electricity to flow through it. But wait, there's a twist in this story. Just because birds are usually safe doesn't mean they're invincible. The very same laws of physics that keep them safe can also put them in some serious danger. So when does this perfectly safe situation suddenly become fatal? The moment the bird accidentally creates a path. If it touches two different wires at the same time, or if it touches a wire and a grounded object like a metal pole, it has just completed a circuit. And in that instant, its body becomes the path of least resistance with tragic results. This is exactly why size matters so much up there. A tiny sparrow is probably never going to be able to touch two wires at once. But a big bird, like a hawk or an eagle, with that incredible wingspan, it's way easier for them to accidentally touch two separate lines or a wire and a pole. Their size becomes a deadly disadvantage. And let's be super clear, birds have not studied physics. This is all about millions of years of evolution. The birds that had a habit of perching in dangerous ways, well, they just didn't survive to pass on those genes. What we're seeing today is a deeply evolved instinct for survival. So beyond just being a cool fact about birds, this whole thing teaches us a really critical lesson about electricity itself. And this, right here, is the biggest takeaway. High voltage is like potential danger. It's the pressure in the system. But the thing that actually causes harm is the current, the actual flow of electricity passing through a body. Without a complete circuit, you can have all the voltage in the world, but no dangerous current is going to flow. And you know, this isn't just for the birds. This principle is exactly why electricians are so careful. Their insulated boots, those heavy rubber gloves, all those strict procedures, they are all designed to do one thing, to prevent their body from ever becoming part of a complete electrical circuit. So from now on, when you look up and see that familiar sight, you won't just see a bird on a wire. You'll see a beautiful, real-world demonstration of physics playing out right there in front of your eyes. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If there's this much incredible science hiding in such an ordinary, everyday sight, what other amazing principles are at work all around us, just waiting to be noticed?